Chris Upton in the house. Good evening and welcome. Wow, there's a few people in already. 15 of you in already. Oh, you've obviously heard about a competition, haven't you? Hope you got your pens and paper ready. You need pens and paper tonight. Go and get your pens and paper. Hi, mate. Nice hunting video. I think that's the time I picked up bramble. It was, Andy. How long ago was that, mate? How long ago was that? That's interesting, Andy. It definitely was the first time you picked up your bramble. You said you wanted a hunting dog. Did I give you a hunting dog? Okay, let's might as well say good evening to you all here. Good evening, Simon Spruce. Good evening, Karen Evans. Simon Spruce, beat Karen Evans. Peter Taylor, good evening. Chris Devell, good evening. Denver Skinner, good evening. Denver's in the house. Giles Pickett, Jonathan Wakefield, Chris Devell, Chris Wheelhouse, good evening. Jonathan Wakefield, have we done him? I think we've done Jonathan. No, we haven't. Jonathan Wakefield. Robert Jeffrey, good evening, Robert. Sue, who's that? Sue you. Yeah, she'll sue you if you fucking say anything nasty about her. Good evening, darling. Good evening, everyone, Sue you says. Oh, yeah, that's another one. Andy said, good evening. John Wilson, good evening. Barry E, good evening. Craig Cameron, good evening. Michael McLogan, good evening. Giles Pickett. Okay, today and today only, we've had a delivery. I don't know if you watched the video. If you could just sort of give me, you've got 39 people watching, so you're gonna have to come in and hurry up if you're going to join this competition. The more chance you've got of winning it. But we're not going to start the competition until we get 50 people in the house. How about that? As soon as we get 50 people in the house, we're going to start the competition. I don't know if you're all bored silly like I am. I don't know if you're stuck at home with your loved one and you've now realized you don't love them. You thought you did, but now you've realized too much contact all the time is not what you really need. You need self-isolation.
24/7 and all that?
Not 24/7, I would say, darling, but at least a couple of hours a week. She's just been giving me lists and lists of jobs to do on top of the stuff I've already got. So what we're looking for 50 people in the house. When we've got 50 people in the house, the competition will start. If we don't get 50 people in the house, then the competition just can't start. It's as simple as that, because the competition, the prize is so valuable. The prize is so valuable and so sought after. There's no point in doing it unless we get 50 people in the house. If we get 50 people in the house, we're going to run the competition. The competition is testing your knowledge and your skills of watching my last video. If you've not watched my last video, I would suggest you pop off and watch it. Because if you haven't watched it, it's to do with observation skills. The questions will be asked about that video. If you get 5 questions right, the first person to get 5 questions right, then we will be giving away a special prize tonight. Only 43 people in here. Might have to run the competition, to be honest with you. Or shall we go for the competition? We get 40 people. Oh, we've already got 40. No, let's go for 50. Until we get 50 in the house, bring your brothers, sisters, uncles, and aunties in, just to make the numbers up. No, we're not worried about that. Okay, 9 thumbs up. That's all we've got. So only 9 people interested in the competition tonight. The competition. Oh, 10 thumbs up. So 10 thumbs up. There's at least 10 people interested in the competition. Some people can't do thumbs up if you haven't got the right apparatus. There's 12 thumbs up. Obviously, some people do want to do the competition. Hi, Chris. My Leadburn Lab just started her first season and her ears have dropped off. Is that normal? No, but I find that super glue, you can soon stick them back on. What the bloody hell are you on about, Denver?
Obviously, she's gone there.
Her ears have dropped off. Now, that's a new one, everyone. That's got to be one of the best questions I've been asked this year. Chris, my Leadburn Lab just started her first season and her ears have dropped off. Is that normal? You did find them, didn't you? You didn't just like they dropped off and you freaking went, where the freaking hell's that ear gone? Dave Brooker. Doogie, any better on the new food, Chris? Dougie. Sorry, it looks like Doogie to me because I'm dyslexic. Sorry, it's Dougie. Sue keeps telling me. Oh, not listening, Denver. Denver, I knew what you meant, really, mate. I was just taking the mickey. You've got to have a laugh, don't you? Not listening. What have I said before, Denver? If you've watched my videos, many people have asked me, do you work bitches when they come in the season? Some you can, some you can't. It's the same as a girlfriend or a wife. Some are livable and some ain't. You might as well not freaking say nothing, because no matter what you say, you're going to get it wrong. It's as simple as that. And dogs are exactly the same. I always remember Jack Davey at a training seminar, a panel judge, lovely old boy, Jack Davey. And that question was asked, do bitches become temperamental and moody and go off training when they come in season? And he said, no, dogs don't think like women. That's an panel judge. Dogs don't think like women. I said to him, have you ever had a bitch, Jack? He went, no. I thought, well, you freaking answering a question you have got no idea about. Because I can tell you guys that I've had a lot of bitches here. Some will train all the way through being in season. Some will become moody. Some will become very clingy. And some you can't put pressure on while they're in season. You might as well put them in the box, leave them in the kennel, take them out for a run, and cut out the training. As simple as that. Okay, Jay Brooker, is Dougie any better on the new food, Chris? Yes, he is. He's a lot better. Jay, thanks for sending the money. I did say to you, you didn't need to send me what you did send me. You sent me 20 quid too much. But that was very nice of you. But I was trying to keep the price down for you. But I was letting you have the food at what I pay for it, as in wholesale. But thanks very much indeed. That's very nice of you. That will buy me a bottle of whiskey to get over all the stress he's giving me picking up all shit. God, that dog can shit. They're massive, mate. They're like it's like that fish that got away. It was that big. That shit. Anyway, so what have we been talking about this week? I've had a good chat with a professional pet trainer, obedience. He came from the obedience side, as in obedience training, and we had a good 3.5 hour conversation, and a 2.5 hour conversation the week before about dog training and my methods of talking to people and the way I act on the internet. And he thinks that I'd be a lot more popular if I didn't correct dogs and I didn't talk about fur babies and snowflakes and what's the other word? Fluffies. That was it, fluffies. And he reckons the problem is you're your own worst enemy, because you categorize people and you put them in a box and you rubbish them. Well, I don't. It's a general. I don't really want to name one single person. And then I watched a live feed with him and two friends of theirs, and it was quite interesting in some places when he spoke, and I quite enjoyed parts of it. But one of the things he did, he started rubbishing Victoria Stilwell in a patronizing way and using a bit of humor, satire. And I like satire. I use satire. But when I use satire, it's offensive. When I mention other trainers, it's offensive. It's offensive if I mention trainers but don't name them. Well, I've come to the conclusion that you've just got to get on with what you do in life and don't worry about what other people think about you, else you'll never get anything done, will you? Sue said in the background. Because do you know what? I'm a very sensitive little snowflake at heart, and it bothers me, these things, when people say to me, you're cruel because you use discipline. And what it does, if you do care for these dogs, it makes you question your own training. Oh, 58 people in the house, 17 likes. As soon as we get 20 thumbs up, what we're going to do, we're going to start the competition. 57 people in the house, we needed 50. We've got 57, so we're going to go for the competition. Tonight and tonight only. We're not going to charge you £99. We're not going to charge you £70 or £60. We're not even going to charge you £30. And today only, if I charge you $19.99, you'd be getting a bargain. But because the virus is out there and we're all stuck at home and I'm fucking bored and I need to get out a little bit more than I am, We're going to do a quiz tonight. You must have watched my last video. Oh, 20 thumbs up, Sue. That's how to get thumbs up, isn't it? Throw a prize in. I know how to sell snow to the Eskimos. I know how to sell snow to the Eskimos. So tonight and tonight only, everybody, a one-off offer. Da, 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 the famous squirrel skin cured by Jules. You could own one of these for your dog, and it will be winging itself in the post. Look at the bloody work he's put into that. Hey, that's freaking Tufty. Who remembers Tufty? The squirrel that used to tell you about roadside safety. When I was at school and I was a teenager, Tufty says, you must stand at the road and not run across it. That's freaking Tufty. Poor bastard. Or you have a choice tonight. You could.
Mine, don't forget, I won one last week.
Sue won one last week. We have 4 squirrels in the house. We have 5 in total. But 61 people watching. I'll tell you, the competition is going to start any second. Get yourselves a pen and a piece of paper. You must have watched my last video. It's an observation skills video. What I want a bollocks. If you're all ready for this, I want a bollocks. Come on, let's have a bollocks. If I get 20 bollocks in a row, we'll start the competition. Or we'll just answer questions on dog training tonight. Do you want the bollocks or do you want the competition? Do you want the questions answered? Hey, you've got to have a laugh. There's so many people on the internet giving out advice on the internet. I know you lot. You're not going to fall for it. What the freaking hell do you want? You want competition, you lot, don't you? We've got to have 20. Got to count 20 silks. We're not doing it. 20 bollocks we need.
That's cheating. That's moving.
Okay. So the first question is this a female or a male squirrel? No, don't. That's not the question. That'll have you all freaking redundant. You 58 of you all shitting yourself there, won't you? It's all in the colour markings. Ask Jules. We got 20. Well, we got 20 bollocks. Okay. So, Penny Merritt bollocks. Hello, Ben. How are you doing? How you doing? I'm just about to do some videos, Pen, on your bitch. She's just come out of season, and I'm literally now going to put up a load of videos about training her every day and finishing her off if possible and getting her ready. But we've
only got 19, Chris,
everything against us. We've had the virus. We can't really go out. We had the birds on the shoots that we could go flushing after the season. That's messed up. The shooting season was fantastic. I was so busy with customers, and I know that Sam wasn't in such a hurry. So I can thought straight after the shooting season, I can get out and do some training with her. And what happens? We get locked down, don't we? Lockdown. Julian Lees, Chris, 2 more squirrels trying on the radiator as you speak. Okay, there's the man. There he is, Julian Lees. This is all down to Julian, this is. Okay, so this is the prize. Or you can go, if you don't want that, you can go for the booby prize. Is it a booby prize or is it a special prize?
It's mine.
This Sue's. Look at the colours in that. Look at the colours. Look at that. If that's not temptation to teach your dog to chase, then what else do you want? These are rare as rocking horse shit at the moment because of the lockdown. And yet Julian Lees, has gone and worked on these and produced these. And tonight we've got 3 going out already for competitions already won that I've been waiting for him to come in. So that'll be Chris and Ian and a number of other people. Another one person. Now you've got a choice. You don't have to take the squirrel skin. So first question is this. You must have watched my last video. My last video is an observation video. Okay. We played some music on the video. What film? You've got to write this down. This is what you're going to do. You've got to write this down and not give me the answers at the moment. So you've got to write this down and you're going to get 5 questions. You write the questions down. And when I say go, it's the first person to give me all 5 answers on the screen. And Sue's going to be adjudicator, judge. Look at Andy, 20 bollocks. We got 20 bollocks in the house. There we go. 57 people. If we lose 50 people, we're out of here. Okay, first question. Hey,
What's the answers? I need the answers.
I'll give you them in a minute.
Okay.
Okay. The first question is, we played some music. What film is the music from? You do not need to write it down. You do not need to tell me on here. You need to write it down. You need to write that question down of what film that came from. Sue's going to play this game and guess this. See if she can guess it. I told her to get a pen and paper ready. She didn't. She wasn't ready in time. So just to get over this virus, you're all stuck in together. There's a bit of a competition. The first question is, what film does the music come from? If anybody wants to help anybody and stick it up here, you can do. There you go. Good evening, William G. Webb. I've seen you watching a lot of stuff lately, William. You're really keen to watch stuff, a bit like me. Crazy for watching stuff. Transgender, don't insult anyone. What the friggin' hell's transgender? I've lost me on that one. No, it's not a jump from the left. It's not the Rocky Horror Show. So that's your first question. Your first question. Susan wrote it down. She knows that one, don't you, Susan? Okay. So has anybody got any questions about dog training? Hi, Chris. Didn't intend to breed from my dog. Does neuting make any difference to the drive, or is it just better to leave them they are? I wouldn't do it too soon because you'll mess up the hormones. But no, and for cancer and stuff like that, they reckon it's better. So at the end of the day, a dog will stop cocking its leg if it cocks its leg a little bit. If it's a dog, if it's a bitch, neuting. You are here to train. You are here to train dog, not be popular. And what? Craig Cameron, you are here to train dog, not be popular, and do it right. Right, that's a good one, Craig. Perhaps you were on about the fact that I was talking about the other dog trainer who's been dog training for over 30 years, like myself. I've got a lot of respect for the guy. I don't want to name him because at the end of the day, it's not a criticism in a nasty way, but it does bother me when trainers tell me that I should have been prosecuted for smacking a dog's backside, in their opinion, because they were a welfare dog officer and all that, right? At the end of the day, some people don't like rattle bottles. Some people don't like people using negative in any way. At the end of the day, if you've not watched somebody's training right through and come and train with them, how would you know how somebody really trains? I train with 95% fun-based training. I actually watched a live feed that they did, and a lot of the things on the live feed I agree with. I don't want to name the live feed. I don't want to name the people because that's not my policy. My policy is to talk about dog training. And as soon as you start talking about dog training, you offend people. You offend people because of your opinions. And yet he's entitled to his opinion. I'm not entitled to my opinion because I was told by him last week that there is a dedicated group out there, the Chris Upton Hate Society or whatever it frickin' is. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. If I could get in on it, I'd have a fucking right laugh, wouldn't I? I'd take the piss out of them and wind them up. Why? Because that's me. It's my personality. I just think I hate hypocrites. I think live and let live. But if you see something that's not right, talk about it. It's only an opinion. It's only debate. And I have no problem people talking about me in a debate. But is it a fair debate if you close someone out of the debate? That's the whole point. Anyway, shall we go over to the second question? Shall we go over to the second question, shall we? Have you all written down your answer for the first one?
Yes.
As the song goes, I did it my way. There you go. That's, yeah, the wrong song. But yeah, you're right, Craig Cameron. You did right. I did it my way. I created a YouTube page. I put my head above the parapet. I had over 7,000 subscribers, 3.5 million views. I know they weren't all fans because the haters love me as well. They can't live without me. If you look at my Facebook videos, they've got to put a negative, a thumbs down on it. I laugh about it because I'm a stronger person than people think. I've got another guy at the moment. It's called. He just says, "I keep loving every one of your videos. Will you be my friend?" I don't know if he's gay or whether he just is just a hacker. I don't know. But last week they tried to hack me on the internet. They tried to hack me. They asked me. Someone sent me a video saying, "Open this. Someone's been saying this about you," and I went, "Nah, I'm not opening that. It don't look right." And then all of a sudden, everyone else is sending me stuff saying, "Chris, did you see this? Have you seen it?" I said, "Don't open it. Don't open it. It's a hoax." There's loads of idiots on the internet, but the problem is, it's who defines who's an idiot and who's not an idiot. You've got to get results. If you see results on videos, then follow that person. Look at everybody. Go and watch everybody. If you find somebody better, go and watch them, not me. It's as simple as that, everyone. Anyway, question 2. You watch that one as well, William. There you go. I think I saw your name on there. There's some great stuff on there. And I like the guy who was talking. Lovely. The expert. Anyway, but don't mention what freaking live feed it was, for Christ's sake, because that's just going to cause shit. And then they go, "Oh, you're talking about us again." No. I'm getting on with my life. I'm fucking getting on with my life. Anyway, second question. Who was King Arthur in the film? I want the actor's name. Oh, freaking hell, Sue said. In the background, my wife, who doesn't swear, just said, "Oh, friggin' hell." Now, when the Sex Pistols did Friggin' in the Rigging, everyone went mental because of the language. And she's shouting friggin' hell in the background. Honestly, some people can't control it. It's your fault, Julian. She's after another squirrel. She's friggin' nuts. So, very, very rare. Very, very rare. Not a red squirrel, for Christ's sake, they'll have me locked up. It's a grey squirrel. It's a tree rat. It causes more freaking damage to nesting birds. And what's she doing now?
I know the second.
Susan!
Oh, thank you. Give it to me.
No.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
She didn't know. Sue didn't know that one.
I knew the second name. I didn't know the well. Well, I need the answers.
Shh, just don't go there at the moment. Sit down. Honestly, she's getting carried away. She's loving this. She's loving being judge and jury.
Yes. Okay, sir.
Can you sit down? Can you sit down?
Yes, sir. 3 bags full, sir. Move in. Move in.
See, honestly, never.
Oh,
In that film,
abuse. You pushed me away.
I just pushed her away and I said, "Can you go and sit down?" Domestic violence, everyone. There, I used authority. I used discipline, bloody discipline, and now she's screaming like a bitch in the corner. But don't tell the snowflakes and the fluffies, because they'll all freaking be putting stuff up on the internet about me. They can post what they like about me. Guess what? They help me promote myself. People see it as a negative. I see it as a positive sometimes. Not all the time. Sometimes you think, "Oh, for frick's sake, just leave me alone." And sometimes you're right. Do I cause myself more problem by being outspoken and upfront? Well, I can get you roadkill red squirrel. Listen, Andy, if we stuffed a red squirrel and started freaking Chris, some people's idea of free speech is that they are free to say what they like, but if anyone says anything back to them, it's an outrage. It's Winston Churchill. Yeah, you bet, boy. You bet. You bet. I agree 100%. And sometimes I think in life you've got to stand up to these people. It was these people who attacked me in the first place. Did that make me slightly bitter? Yes, slightly bitter. Okay, 55 people still in the house. We can still run the competition. We're going to give you the third question. In the video, there is a young lad. What is the lad's name? In the song, King Arthur asks for his name. What's his name? So, Susan, at the moment they've got 3, haven't they?
Yeah, you're going for the full name as well.
Hang on. We want the full name, Sue says. She obviously doesn't want to give a freaking squirrel skin to get away. Now, what you've got to understand is this. This is not a trick question, but you have to answer the question right. The boy gives his name, but King Arthur then says, "Where are you from?" And then King Arthur says his name of the place he's from. I want the name and the place he's from. You can't just give the Christian name, and we don't know his surname because in them days I wasn't around. So he asked him where he's from, and then he gives him his name. The first mate's name was Cooper. By Christ, he was a trooper. Barry. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, any questions? If there's any questions in between, we could answer some questions. I just think you lot just want to piss up. I think that's the problem. Do you know what? I quite like these evenings when what we do, we don't concentrate on dog training quite as much because I concentrate so much on dog training. I don't know if you guys have seen. It's gone freaking walkabouts. I don't know where it's gone. Bear with me. I don't know where it's gone. I'm still looking. Susie, where's it gone?
Well, what is it? How do you know what it is?
My book. Oh, it's in the...
Oh.
I put it in there. I did put it in there. Just pull it out here. I'm just looking in my drawers. No, not me drawers, as in me drawers. It's... Okay. How about that, everyone? How about that? Have you seen that? I bet you can't even read it, can you? It's Best of Facebook 2010 to 2019. And it's got Penn Merrick's dogs on there. It's got my dogs on there. It's got customers' dogs in there. It's an absolutely beautiful 380-page book of my quotes that I've put up out in the past. Lots of stuff about dog training. It's absolutely beautiful. And I know I'm holding it wrong and all that. It's absolutely beautiful. And do you know what? That's because I put so much work into my Facebook. I just don't use it for just personal friends. I use it for everyone out there in the dog training world. And I've done that for 10 years. I've run my Facebook, not just for my friends. We have private messages with my real close friends, as in real friends. But I've become so friendly with so many people on Facebook over the years. It's fantastic. And I think I've got 2,500 friends on there, the people who've contacted me. And we don't get into fights. We don't get into shitstorms with people very often. But then again, I stand up sometimes and say what I feel. And yet, isn't it funny how judgmental people can be? That he is hated in the dog training world, and he is the evil villain, the pantomime villain. You know, at the end of the day, I discipline dogs. I stand by what I do. Have I ever questioned how firm I've been on a dog? Yes. But have I had a result from being firm? Yes. Do I say to many people, listen, less is more. Let me show you how to do it. Then use the correction at the right time. But if you get some really, really bad, headstrong dogs that have taken over completely, then it's my job as a professional to turn those dogs around and save those dogs' lives. And that's what I do. That's what I do. And I talk about it. So nail me to that cross. And I'll, on the way, as I'm passing over, I'll start singing, always look on the bright side of life. Because I think to myself, life is too short to worry about what other people think about you all the time. Do we want to be liked? Yeah, of course we want to be liked. But am I willing to sacrifice my principles, my thought, my understanding, my knowledge on the grounds of it's going to bring in more business or I'll have more people following me? I'm here doing what I do. I get results. I love what I do. I have a passion for what I do. I love those dogs out there. I'm becoming an old fart talking about it. But guess what? I talk about it because I have a passion for it. Not that I'm being nasty or personal to any one person unless they've bitched about me. It's as simple as that. What was Barry E's message? Why was it retracted, everybody? I don't know. He worded it wrong, did he? So any questions on here? You've got to be you, though, haven't you? Hang on. Do you see what Sue's saying? I've got to be me. She didn't used to say that. She said you're too freaking in people's faces sometimes.
I never ever told.
Okay, third question, fourth question. What did the lad who wanted to go into battle to help Arthur, because Arthur wanted to bring people together, and I love that film, and we did a Christmas special. We went to Camelot. I don't know if any of you remember it. We had bubbles in the bath, me and Sue, at Christmas. She loved that, didn't you, Sue?
Mm-hmm.
She loved that. See, I'm a sweetheart at heart. What the fourth question is, what did the young lad, and I nearly said his name, call King Arthur? What word did he use? It's the word that I'd like on my title if I owned an estate. Not a Ford Fiesta.
Cheating.
What are you doing now? Come here.
Aha, right, yes.
Yeah.
You've got no chance, dear.
She got no chance of going on telly. You know why, everyone? She's looking like one of them abominable snowmen. She's not had a freaking haircut.
I mean,
She's not an haircut, and she's got a moustache. She's got a beard, a moustache. You should see the hairs under her arms. Jesus Christ! Till she gets that frigging wax and wax cracking backs? What do you call it?
no, that's for men. No, I mean me calling you that, dear.
Yes, she should. She should. Sue should call me that all the time. Yeah. Yes, I can understand if you did. That's the word that I'm looking for. But that takes some training. That does, everybody. That takes some training. My pup won't bring in a squirrel skin. Well, my pup won't bring my squirrel skin back. Earthbound pheasant or peasant? Peasant. Is that peasant or pheasant?
Where are we going?
It's not pheasant, is it? I'm dyslexic, but that doesn't say pheasant, does it? Come on, Susan.
I've just got my pup won't bring my squirrel skin back.
What's his name?
Earthbound
See what I mean?
peasant.
Peasant. Thank you. Peasant, not pheasant. Well,
Pheasant's got a H in it.
well, where did you get your squirrel skin from? Did you make one? We know somebody who makes them. I've read some of the answers that people give on different dog forums to people's questions on different dog sites, and most of them are so off the mark, it's untrue. And do you know what, Andy? Andy Stead, you're so right. You're absolutely so right. Andy Stead is spot on with that. Let me just, I don't know if you guys like this, but I don't know if this is going to work. You listened to Penn the other day, didn't you? You listened to Penn the other day. I'm ringing somebody. It could be you. If I'm not ringing you.
Hello?
Oh, you're in the house. You're live. Be careful what you say. You're under caution. Everyone's listening to Andy Stead from Jersey. Good evening, Andy.
Good evening, everybody, and Chris and Sue.
And Sue's in the background listening as well, Andy. So, Andy, my question to you, I'm going to ask you a number of questions, mate. How long have you known me?
15, 16 years now.
15, 16 years. Do you think I'm a genuine person?
Most of the time, yeah.
Oh, you bastard! So, Andy,
Yeah.
when the first dog you bought off me, he had noise, didn't he?
Correct.
Did I tell you he had noise?
Yes.
Did I give you 100?
Upfront.
Did I give you 100% detail before you had a choice to buy him of what
You did.
the positive
You
side
did.
of him and the negative side of him was?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. Did you see that he had Ritex Rolex in him, didn't he? In the breeding.
Yeah.
I think
He was a hell of a bred dog.
he's well-bred dog, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said to people before, I paid £1,000 for that dog. How much did I charge you for that dog, Andy?
£1,000.
And how long do you think I had that dog for? Do you remember?
Oh, I think you said you had him for a year, or at least a year.
Yeah, a year. Because when I got offered that dog as a youngster, I saw so much potential in him. I thought he's fantastic. And when the guy who has been to the championship twice, and we won't mention his name, offered me that dog, I jumped at the chance at £1,000, not to try and cut corners, but I just thought that dog was too cheap at £1,000 for what I'd seen of him, the quality of him. Now, tell me, Andy, did you have some wonderful shooting times over that dog, and you loved having that dog, or was he a pain in the arse?
No, he was brilliant. Because that was my first dog, you see. So I learned as well as the dog learned some more, and I think the dog taught me more than I taught it. Absolutely
fantastic answer. Did I prod you with a stick, or did you just come up with that answer?
No, we haven't spoke about it. I didn't even know you were going to phone me tonight.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, Andy, now you're a mate, aren't you? Now we're mates, aren't we? We've been mates for years now, haven't we? We've
like to think so.
Yeah. At the end of the day, not just clients, but mates. And at the end of the day, have you had some wonderful times training with me?
Oh, superb.
Yeah.
Best times.
Have I give you shit on occasions?
Yeah, but hey ho, that's life.
But is it because I'm a nasty bastard, or is it because constructive criticism gets you and teaches you to be a better person and a better trainer?
No, I think you're right there, and I think also you got to be a bit thick-skinned as well. But if you can't listen for someone telling you what to do, you're never going to learn.
But have you seen me train other people and not give them stick because they're new and I haven't got that friend bond with them like I've got with you, that mates can talk to each other slightly different and perhaps be a bit more personal and not take offense? But if it was just a customer here that you've seen me and thought, well, Chris handled that situation fantastic. He treated them gently. He led them into what he wanted to show them rather than was verbally assertive, if you know what I mean.
No, that's for sure. Yeah, you're right there. I mean, we've got a bit of banter now because we know each other, so it's like sort of mates who you can take the mic on, should we say? Whereas I have been in your presence, went over at your house and watched you train other people, and you are a lot different with them, but obviously you don't know them as well.
And have you been out with women training with me as well?
Yes.
And am I very courteous?
Yeah, for sure. You're you know, I mean, there's always that bit of a banter, some laugh, we have a joke, you know, but that's quite nice. I think sometimes that calms the situation down.
And the thing is, Andy, it's important because you've got people on the internet saying to other people, oh, he abuses people, he's rude to people, he's aggressive to people, he makes them cry. I think in all the time I've ever been here, I've had 2 women who cried in 35 years or 30 odd years of training dogs. And that's because of their emotional mental state rather than me as a trainer. And I've backed off because I've realized they can't hack it. They can't take gentle criticism, because as soon as you give them the truth, they're not looking for the truth. They're pampered, like pampered pets. And that's all they're looking for instead of reality. They're not living in the real world. But if 2 women out of thousands, and I've never had a bloke cry, but I know trainers who have had blokes crying with frustration, but I've never had a bloke cry because I think I read people quite well. It's the same as, you know, you are different, Campbell's different, you know, Willie's different. Everybody I've met is different. And the skill is being able to handle the person as much as handling the dog.
I think it's more the person sometimes than the dog, actually.
I think you're spot on, mate. I think you're spot on, but I led you to that one, didn't I? No, I didn't. Because what it is, it's 15 years of you watching my videos, you talking to me over the phone privately. How many times do you ring me up over the years and spoke privately over a problem? And I,
Loads.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm there for people, to help people, Andy. And you're not the only one. But it's funny how you gel with some people. Some people remain just clients, no matter how long you've known them, and other people become friends. And that's the nice thing about my job. You're dealing with people who are like-minded, and we have this wonderful rapport with each other, don't we?
It's great. And it's also, you know, there's all these people that we see coming in on a Wednesday night. I mean, I haven't met any of them, obviously, or some of them I have, yes. But they all seem so genuine when you see what their comments are, what they say. Okay, you maybe get the odd idiot on there, which we've been off, but most of the time, people are really genuine.
Okay, Andy, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Peter Piper says, if I send my dog for a dummy and stop him a couple of times, then recall him all the way back, he is reluctant to go when I resend him back for it. Is this him just trying to read the situation? Can you answer that question?
Yeah, I mean, well, without seeing it, it's really awkward, but it would sound as if he's reading the custody, the dog's reading the client.
Perhaps he's doing it too many times, isn't he?
Yeah, well, as you say, less is more sometimes.
Because if you keep stopping the dog, it says here, if I send my dog for a dummy and stop him a couple of times, then then recall him on the way back, he's reluctant to go out when I resend him again. You're overdoing it, I would say. That's what I would say by the question he had. So
the dog thinks it's going to get stopped again, I would have said.
So you have another question here for you to answer. Roy Henley, what should I do with a bitch in season with regards to training? Carry on as normal or back off? I think I answered that question earlier, Andy. Did you hear it?
Yeah, well, yeah, and you're quite right in what you were saying. I was listening to it before. Actually, it's quite interesting. I've had two. Well, I've got two bitches still alive, but they've now been spayed. But when they hadn't been, they were okay through that time. But like you say, some dogs just go all stupid on you.
Yeah, exactly, Andy.
To back off, you know.
Exactly, and so it's read the dog, isn't it? If the dog's not responding, back off. Don't make nothing of it. Don't lose your cool over it. Don't lose your temper. So Denver Skinner, Chris, taking a trip in a motorhome up to Scotland next year. Never been there before. Any advice? No, hope you don't. Hope you don't break down. Hope you don't break down. They're robbing bastards.
Watch the midges.
And watch you don't get stopped in a toilet because it's a kangaroo. Can I get out? Can I get out?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
beware of men in dresses.
Yeah, beware. Exactly. And you've been shooting up in Scotland with me, haven't you?
Yeah, twice.
We've been up there twice, and we've been up there training as well. And you've been up with Campbell shooting, haven't you?
Yeah.
Now, tell them a little bit about Jersey. You've got no formal shoots on Jersey, have you?
No shoots on Jersey. Quite a number of years ago, some people got together and brought some pheasants in thinking they were going to put a pheasant shoot, and the government said no. So they accidentally got released, and they bred like crazy because they weren't really getting shot. And then, so now there's a bit of rough shooting as pest control for farmers or for the farm industry. So it's not free for all. You have to get a license to be able to go. So if you haven't got a dog that can hunt, don't bother coming.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why, you know, when I've got dogs from you, we know that your dogs hunt like, you know, on concrete, should we say. So, you know, when you get them out over here, they go really well.
Would you suggest going all the way to Scotland with a dog that's untrained and trying to shoot over it? Or would you say, no, get your dog trained before you go to Scotland?
Yeah, I would say get your dog trained, or if not 3/4 trained, and you could maybe finish it off up there.
Yeah.
But with an untrained dog, it's not worth it.
Have you got areas on the island where you've got as much scent or as much rabbits as Scotland have got? Or
there
Yorkshire?
Are a few places with quite a lot of rabbits, but the problem over here I found is we haven't got enough cover where the rabbits are. So, like in Scotland, you know, you've got all the little tufty thickets where you can chase them out. Whereas in Jersey, you've got a lot of rabbit scent.
Do you mean flush? Do you mean flush them out or chase them out?
Well, flush them out. Okay. Sorry.
I've seen your dogs work. Bastard.
Yeah, but I can run after it and catch it, not like yourself.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
No, but so we have got rabbit scent, but it is another ball game up in Scotland even then.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of rabbits up there, especially when we went with Campbell, if you remember that time, there was more. They were just sitting there laughing at you. There was that many.
Yeah, wasn't there? Yeah. So we went up to, that was Glen Cove, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was right up to Highlands, wasn't it? Yeah.
That's right up there. Yeah.
I think that
back was at Balmoral. I think it was somewhere.
I think that was like a 13-hour trip, wasn't it? Overnight.
It wasn't so good.
And you boys slept all the way and then moaned when we got there because Campbell booked us into a freaking chalet for the Scouts, didn't he?
Yeah.
That was a funny story, wasn't it, Andy?
Yeah, that lad who came with us, John, was about 7 foot, whatever he was.
Yeah.
We went into this little overnight thing that hikers use.
Like log cabin, wasn't it? Like not even log cabin, but like a wood.
A tent would have been better than that.
Yeah, and the bunk beds were back to back, so you would have had somebody's feet. They weren't long enough for they were about 5 foot. The beds, weren't they?
I'm glad the hotel had some rooms.
And so I said, I'm not staying here. And Campbell looked at me, and everyone looked at me. I went down the hotel, booked a room with a bathroom. I think 60 quid a night or something like that, and thought, if we're here for 4 nights, I'm having a freaking hotel with a bath, not freaking sharing a bunk room with freaking 4 stinky blokes after we've been out hunting all day. And then all of a sudden, one at a time, you all came down and booked the same hotel rooms, didn't you? And Campbell was left at the end, wasn't he? Going, well, what am I going to do about the freaking my bunk room?
We got a deal, I think.
Yeah, I think he was going to rough it, wasn't he? At one point, typical.
I think he thought about it.
Typical Scotsman, wasn't it? Again, see, you can take a Scotsman away from Scotland, but he can't change, can he?
No, they're always like a crab.
Yeah,
watertight.
Watertight. That's the way. Anyway, let's get back onto this. Finish this quiz off. Have you got the 3 answers at the moment?
No, because I haven't watched the last video because I've just come on tonight and I didn't have time to watch it.
Never mind, Andy. You're going to miss out on it.
Well, you've got to give someone else a chance to win in a squirrel skin. That's what I say.
Brilliant, Andy. Nice chatting, mate. Take it easy, boy. And
okay.
Keep safe. Keep safe.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Cheers, buddy. Bye.
Bye. So there you go. Let's have a bollocks for Andy. A good bloke. Honestly, a lovely, lovely chap. Good evening, Pierre. Good evening. Late in again. Have you been out again on the town, you dirty sod? RDS Corner and Karen, shaking hands, look, 2 spanners together. Bollocks. And he's a great guy. Andy is a great guy. He's always been there for me. Always been a great mate. And like I say, I make so many friends over the years with dog training clients. And it's fantastic. You've got like-minded people. We talk about the same subjects. And it's absolutely fantastic. So well done. Anyway, how many questions we had up to now, Susan?
We are now on 5th question.
5th question and final question. Are you sure? Yes. 5th and final question. In that film, there was a squirrel. And he was a stunt squirrel. And we need to know his name. And that is the final question.
I know that one.
And Sue knows that one as well. Sue knows that one. She knows, We've been watching Spooks. And honestly, Sue thinks that she's freaking works for the government now.
I'm coming back as a spy in my next life.
She's coming back as a spy in the next life. I never realised there were so many Spooks series. And we sit watching these Spooks series. And honestly, she gets really into it.
Lucky I'm here tonight.
She's lucky she's here tonight. She's not watching Spooks. Honestly. But they don't last long. They don't seem to last long. So, you've had 5 questions. What was the film called for the music? What was the main actor's name who played King Arthur? What was the young lad's name?
Arthur.
That Arthur named him in the music. What did he call Arthur? And what was the stunt squirrel called?
Answers on a postcard, please.
Now, this is the problem. This is how it works. Yes, all good. Richard Gould's in there. And Richard Gould's in there. He's won so many freaking squirrel skins over the years. He just loves it. I'm bloody clueless, is Karen. Well, you've literally got, it's only a 6-minute video. If you sod off, you watch it, and then you come back, you might be able to answer all those questions.
And have you got a spare spanner for Ards? Because he's like crying here, really.
RDS Corner's lost his spanner.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it.
Even Google has an help, Kieran.
Even Google. So anyone, should we give it on question 1? Honestly, some of you.
I missed questions 1 to 4. Richard Gould. Just actually been.
I missed questions 1 to 4. Honestly. So it looks like we've. I didn't really want a squirrel dummy anyway. Do you know what, you lot? Get on board, will you? It's like Jungle Book, isn't it? Get with it, man. Okay, you don't have to have the squirrel. I told you. There's a booby prize. Anybody want to see the booby prize?
That's mine.
Who wants to see the booby prize? Here he comes. Here he comes, everyone. Here he comes. What the bloody hell did Jules send there? It looked like freaking. It looks like that dog off freaking Magic Roundabout. I like boobies. Well, we could arrange something. Never going to get a squirrel skin. Simon Spruce. I'm so desperate for a squirrel skin. Tried loads of times. Listen, Denver Skinner, Simon Spruce, all you have to do, it's 8:45. All you have to do is shut up, go and have a look at the video, think about the questions. I'll put them again. What is the film called? The song says it. The song says it. What is the main actor who plays King Arthur? It's easy. You have to just put in the film on Google and go, who was King Arthur in the film? Right? The lad's name and what King Arthur says. It says it in the song. And what does the lad call King Arthur? Who the fuck is King Arthur? Barry E. Have you never heard of the Round Table? Pierre, I already have one. Well, obviously you got yours too lightly, didn't you? These are rare as rocking horse shit. Don't talk about rocking horse shit. So what I'm saying is, I don't mind answering your questions. I just thought I'm going to give a squirrel skin away because there's so many people who've been asking me. There's so many people begging me in private for. You couldn't send us a squirrel skin. You want it for nothing. You got to earn it.
Oh, Denver's got 4 to 5.
4 out of 5. Come on, Denver. Get your finger out. Is there anybody here thinks they've got it? If anyone thinks they've got it, please say, by George, I think I've got it. If you can answer all 5, please say, by George, I think I've got it. If you can spell that. By George. I don't care how you spell George. I think I've got it. So if you can, please share, Sue. Barry is asking you to share the fucking answers. Honestly. By George, I think I've got it. Karen Evans. Right, Karen.
Right, we've got one.
Hang on.
Got it.
Who?
We have a winner.
Who? Who is the winner?
It is. Hang on, just rechecking.
Honestly.
Not at the Carlos.
Not
at the tables. Carlos has got it.
Not at the tables. Carlos has got it.
And he said, "By George, I think I've got it." He did.
Not at the tables. Carlos thinks he's got it. Camelot. Richard Harris. King Arthur. Tom of Warwick. My Lord. And Jack. You beauty. We have a winner. You rest of you are bloody useless. Well done. Not the tables, Carlos. You have got it spot on. But you didn't say, by George, I think I've got it.
He did.
Oh, he did.
He did.
Oh, yes. By George, I think I've got it. So
Karen said, I've not got it. Not at the tables. And Simon's not playing anymore. No.
Oh, there you go, Simon. Never mind. So, not the tables, Carlos. You need to send me in Messenger your address, and you have got, winging your way, a squirrel skin, one of the finest training tools for teaching a dog to retrieve fur. Or you can go for the booby prize, right? The dog from the Magic Roundabout. I would suggest you take the squirrel skin. But that's because of kind Jules. I have so many people. I must have 5 or 6 people a week asking me, you haven't got any squirrel skins I can buy off you. I can't sell them because Jules lets us have them for nothing. It's Sue's snorting like a pig in the background.
I don't care. And I had to search out for 20 minutes for a pen. I wrote nothing. He even asked Sarah and she couldn't get it.
Craig Cameron, I think you're a sportsman. I think you're a bloody sportsman. Robert Jeffrey, I think you're a bloody sportsman as well. Where's this bloody where is he gone? Where is he gone? I haven't even seen him on here. Ardy Corner, where is he? RDS, there he is. There he is. Okay, watch this. Watch this, everyone. There you go. Is he happy? Let's see if he's happy now. RDS, are you happy?
Hang on a minute. He cheated.
Who cheated?
Not the cables Carlos. I owe my girlfriend Chris. She helped. He got cheated. He cheated.
No, no, I'm sorry. No, I don't care. You got it, Carlos. Not the tables, Carlos. You got it, boy. Yeah. You got it. Well done to you. Well done. Congratulations. Run the answers again, please, to see if I was right. We will. Okay. In the video, the film was Camelot. It said Camelot, Camelot. Right? It's one of my favorite films as a child. And I don't know why that film has stuck with me and the words in the film. And one of the wisest things in the film for everybody, it's going to upset you girls out there. King Arthur, he had a wise wizard. My wise wizard was Keith Erlandson. Keith Erlandson was my shepherd. He guided me in the dog training world. And King Arthur had Merlin in the woods. Every time he had a freaking problem, he went down the woods and asked Merlin. Wouldn't it be great as dog trainers if that's all we had to do? Go down the freaking woods and ask for Merlin, and some freaking owl would turn up and go, and he'd ask you a question and he'd freaking answer it for you. Wouldn't it be fantastic? You wouldn't need fat people like me, would you? You could go down the woods and ask Merlin. Anyway, in the film Camelot, fantastic film with Richard Harris is in the film and Sir Lancelot. Oh, it's a fantastic film. And one of the questions, he's in the woods and, you know, Guinevere has legged it with Sir Lancelot, done the dirty on King Arthur. King Arthur could just like have his throat cut. But he loves the point of getting the knights round the round table and giving everyone their chance to give their opinion and run the kingdom with a democracy. And it's a fantastic film if you ever sat down and watched it, or get your kids to watch it. They might think it's dated, but you know, in my time it was fantastic. And he went down in the woods, and Merlin, Guinevere was banging Sir Lancelot. Disgraceful, really, isn't it? When she was married to King Arthur. So Richard Harris went down in the woods. King Arthur, not Richard Harris, went down in the woods and said, I just don't understand. You know, I love her. Whatever I do for her is not enough. And she fell in love with that frigging French git, Sir Lancelot. But she still loved King Arthur, but she fell in love with Sir Lancelot. Oh, I'll tell you what, you'll all be asleep in a minute, won't you? Anyway, what happens? He goes down the woods and he says, I just don't understand her. I've tried to reason. I've tried to think about the situation. And that's exactly the same as dog training. If you get things wrong or they're not working, you have to stop and think, and sometimes think outside the box. So he goes down to the woods and he speaks to Merlin. And he says, I just don't understand her. I've tried everything. I just cannot understand her. And Merlin says, very, very cleverly, he's an owl. He goes, never try and understand what a woman is thinking. And then there's a bit of a lull. And he says, because they don't do it very often. By God, that's the wisest freaking words I've ever listened to. You can never understand what a woman is thinking. And 2 people have asked us tonight about bitches in season. Do you carry on training or not carry on training? You can't understand how a woman is thinking, even when that's not happening, let alone when it's happening. When it's happening, you can't get nothing frigging right in reality, can we?
you on your toes and be a mystery.
Hear that? Hear that from little Sue in the corner? We like to keep you on your toes and be a mystery. Richard Gould, I thought Merlin was going to say less is more. You'll be in trouble, you will, Richard, honestly. You're getting freaking brave. Anyway, so for anyone interested, and I know half you aren't, the film was Camelot. Richard Harris was the actor. Tom of Warwick. His name was Tom. He said, "Where do you come from, Tom?" And he said, "Warwick." So he said, "Tom of Warwick." And he was telling him to run and spread the story. Don't get into the battle. Don't get into the battle. It's a hell of a brilliant story. I love the film. And Tom said, "My lord, my lord." That's what Sue should be calling me, my lord.
Yeah, right.
I'm good at training, but I'm not that freaking good. I haven't mastered that last bit yet. If I do, I'm going to start writing a freaking book about how to handle a woman. It's
Yeah, but you never understand them.
listen. Before they all freaking stab me and send me hate mail, this is how you handle a woman. How to handle a woman. Mark my words. I won't carry on singing. It's simple. It's easy. Love her. Simply love her.
That's why I'm still here, my lord.
That's why she's still here, my lord. Did you hear that, everyone? It's working. Positive enforcement, eh? Fiction book, is it, Chris? Listen, in today's society, you can't say boo. It upsets them. You have to harden them up a little bit over the years and then nurture them just at the right moment. And that's exactly the same as dog training. Like I said to you before we got the lockdown, I put a spade next to the back door. I took it out the tool shed. And she said to me, Sue said to me, and she'll freaking say, she? No, Sue said to me, "Why have you left that spade at the side of the conservatory door?" I said, "It's for you." She said, "What do you mean it's there for me?" I said, "I want you to dig a hole." She says, "Why do I need to dig a hole?" I said, "In case I don't get on with you on the lockdown, I have to bury you." I'm not digging the freaking hole. I've got my priorities right, everyone. Anyway, on that note, I want you all to love your wives, love your girlfriends, nurture them. Positive training only. Positive training only. Never say anything negative to your girlfriend or wife.
James Monaghan.
Else you might end up wearing one of these. Anyway, I
James
don't.
Monaghan, he's become a patron, a member of your patron today. And what do you, in your opinion, think are a better beating dog? Careful. Cocker Spaniel or Springer, in your opinion?
James Monaghan, what in your opinion do you think is a better beating dog, Cocker Spaniel or Springer Spaniel, in your opinion? It's a very, very awkward question to answer, James, because we've got some Cocker fans in here and we've got some Springer fans. So what I would say is I'm going to compromise and say Sprocker. Sprocker. Give me a Springer all day long, mate. And I can say it. Do you know what? I've had some fantastic little cockers here lately. Some really fantastic little cockers. I've had some buggers as well. But I've had some fantastic little dogs. I've had some wonderful people. And it's been fantastic. Has the break give me inspiration to want to push harder? No. It's been nice having the break, to be honest with you. It's been nice having time with Secret Sue in the corner. Spending time with my darling wife. I take the mickey. I say things, but I'm joking. At the end of the day, I'm so lucky to have my darling wife in the corner. And I think that's why we've been together so long. I think it's because I have a sense of humor. I've learned to live with her. I found chocolate works.
Chocolate
Honestly, Robert Jeffrey, chocolate does work, doesn't it? Eh? The problem is, it doesn't help my weight. I have both Springers. Make you laugh, Cockers make you cry. Exactly. You've got to have a sense of humor to own a Cocker.
Why do you think Springers are better? Go on then.
I think Springers are better because as all round, I think they're the jack of all trades. I think they're the jack of all trades. They can do everything to a very good high level. I think some small cockers struggle on birds, bringing them back sometimes. Some small cockers are fantastic at it. Some cockers can't jump if people want them jumping. Other people don't want dogs jumping. I don't particularly want dogs jumping. I think cockers are more independent, and I think they've got a more they're self-willed. I think that a Springer is easier to train in the long run. I think the quality of the Springer in general, if you bought 10 Springers, 7 would be good Springers if you trained them, 3 would be poor Springers. I think in cockers, you'd end up with 3 really good cockers, you'd end up with 5 poor cockers, and then you'd end up with 2 or 3 that are just absolutely a waste of time. It's just the way the breeding is. I think you've got genius. There's a fine line between genius, brilliance, and lunacy, and I think that's the way the cockers are to a certain extent. Saying it the way I see it, do I appreciate the little buggers? Yeah. Do they have a different sort of character? Yes, without fail. They make so much difference. As simple as that. Sue you, buy Pierre. Why do you want to buy Pierre? Oh no, not buy. Catch you next week, guys. Pierre's left the house. How about that? Bollocks, come on. Sprockers, cheers, Chris. Sue, stay safe. Would you say that Springers are easier to train? Yes, I would, James. I would say they're easier. I'd say Labradors are even easier, but a Labrador's got a set use, hasn't it? They can be a fantastic working dog and a fantastic competition dog, but they've got their limitations compared. That's why I say a Springer Spaniel, the easiest thing I can say is a Springer Spaniel is a jack of all trades. One of the finest words of advice that I've ever heard is, you can make a Springer do it, you've got to make a cocker want to do it. Well, I think personally that's the way you should train all dogs, but I could see 10-15 years ago that was exactly the case with cockers. Cockers have got better because of the mixed breeding. It's as simple as that. I don't think you can take that away from them. Whether that's etiquette, if you're looking for perfection and breeding to the breed standards, that's another question. But at the end of the day, I do believe that cockers have actually got better with the mixing the bloodline with the Springers, because years and years ago they were terrible. 20 years ago, I think you'd see one good cocker out of 10. Nowadays it's so much better. So there you go, everyone. Susan's saying good night. Please stay safe and take care of this bloody, I don't know what that freaking means.
Virus.
Not the tables, Carlos. I'm glad you've won the squirrel skin, and I'll tell you why. Not the tables, Carlos. You've always had a bit of input into whether it's YouTube, Facebook, or Patreon, and I say well done to you. Thanks for your opinion, and I do appreciate people having input. So good night, everybody. Larry Cohen. Hi, Chris. Larry, how are you doing, boy? And like I say, thanks everybody else for tuning in. We do this because we love the dogs. We do this because we're like-minded. We love dog training. We've not talked much about dog training tonight. We've had a competition to have a bit of a laugh. And at the end of the day, with all the shit that's happening out there, the virus and all the news, isn't it funny if you think about it, everyone? The scientists are arguing about what's right, what's wrong, whether we should unlock and we should still clamp down and stay safe and all that shit. And dog training is exactly the same. Dog training is exactly the same. There's so many people out there with different opinions and different ideas. And I follow people who get results. It's as simple as that. And I promote people who get results. And I think that's what this is all about. If you can put up videos and show dogs that are happy and yet you're getting results, I don't care what sort of training you're using. I don't care what method of training you're using. What I'm interested in is people getting real results. But unfortunately, out there's too many Billy bullshitters. And it's my job to a certain extent. But I just sometimes wonder whether I go on about it too much and whether I should just carry on the training. So Tim Crothers told me many times that cockers are naughty, wee shites and take more time to train. Do you know what? Tim Crothers is a good trainer over in Ireland. And I agree 100%, James. I agree 100%. It's having the honesty and the integrity. I've seen a video going around about the championship winner, this year's championship winner that is over in Ireland, and there's A panel judges on there and B panel judges giving comments that are derogative about that dog, and technically the judge and technically the handler. Now you could say it's not the handler's fault or the dog's fault, it's the judge. Is he bent? Does he not know what he's doing? Well, hang on, we've had this before, haven't we, over the years? But the problem is that dog won the championship. When you watch the video and you watch the run, you have to come up with your own conclusion. Now, I've got wisdom and knowledge and understanding, and I could bring my knowledge and understanding into the debate about that. But guess what? That's not my fight. That's not my fight. You've got people trying to stir the shit on the internet about that, and at the end of the day, that's up to them. Did I used to get involved in all that shit? I did, but I've moved on. I've talked about the corruption in the trial world. I think I've given enough information out there. And at the end of the day, it's down to each individual, whether they're interested in running competition. You can't say and slag things off unless you've done it and been there. When you've been there, been successful, and you've done it, then I think people might start to listen to you a little bit. But if you've not been there and you've never got any experience and you're making comments on there, sometimes you can make yourself look a little bit silly. And I've seen people who are friends of mine on there making comments. If I was you, I'd just back off a little bit. Let the big boys argue and fight about it. And what the big boys say, we'll talk about it in private, but not in public. Why? Because they know the backlash they'll get if they speak out about corruption in the trial world. So stay safe, everybody. There's more to life than just trialing. It's running your dog, enjoying your dog, having fun shooting over your dog. And that's what it's about. And I think that the bond between man and dog is far more important than winning competition. That's coming from somebody who's won competition and done well in competition. Until you've been there, you wouldn't know. But I'm just giving you my insight. I've got 35 years of knowledge and understanding, and I know that correction at the right time works. I've seen many a dog abused over the years, and that's what I like to stop. And somebody came on here a minute ago, Larry Crone, and said, "Hi, Chris." Another guy, he's seen so many dogs smashed with e-collars and eyes glazed, tails down, stuck on place boards, scared to move, with muzzles on, prong collars, choke chains, whatever. At the end of the day, we stand up, we talk out about the system sometimes, but we do it for the dogs. We don't do it for our own personal gain. We do it for the dogs. And that's what this is about. So thanks a lot, everyone. Well, I know we've gone over tonight, but we had a bit of a competition. And thanks for joining in and having a laugh. Chris Upton signing off. Take it easy. Stay safe. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Good night.